Okay. Well, let's start. Do you guys want to start?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So I have a question for you, Peter, which is you are one of the only exchanges that's working directly with Hedera regarding NTFs. Is that correct? Or
When we started, we were the first. We were also the first to sell. We were also the first to sell an NFT with HBAR.
woo,
The first to sell an NFT on Hedera with PayPal. There are some more marketplaces popping up right now, but yeah, at the time Go Mint started, it was the first marketplace available.
and what do you see success looking like for your company? And NFT Jesus, you were the winner of the Go Mint Me NFT. How did that feel when you became the winner of the NFT?
Was I? I didn't.
Surprise.
Didn't know, but it was nice in any way. All the working with them, all like Hedera is my favorite in the whole crypto world. So when I found out about even this project, so it was like really a big thing. So also being successful in the beginning there, so it just awesomeness. More just selling NFTs or something, just to be part of this something new that goes on and yeah.
And your type of art is unique to you. Where did you come up with a representation for your art? Does it mean something special to you that we should know about? Like what inspired you?
No, like the pixel art or the NFT Jesus project.
Whichever you like to discuss, the NFT Jesus project.
Uh, I found about NFTs like half year ago. I'm doing all kinds of art all my life, and when I found out about NFTs, so I was looking like a whole month, 24/7 videos, was reading about it, and this time I really wanted to get into the market, and the thing that was the most going on was pixel art. So I was thinking of some interesting, catching, cool kind of project. I came up with this after a couple of tries, and then started the first NFT project in. It was in OpenSea, and people really liked it. And then at some point made the NFT Jesus of Lemon. Hoped it will come to the right places, and it did. And at some point, Peter contacted me, wanted to do something on Hedera on his page, and yeah, all the rest is just building up like more and more, like some kind of snowball, like a nice art snowball that planning to do many other projects, not only pixel art, but for this time, this is the thing.
And does your work comment on the current social or social issues, or what's your biggest influence in your art?
Um, for the it's in the beginning of all of it, and I have a lot of idea that will maybe to put some opinions about the things that going on in the crypto world in it. We like to make a prophecy of stuff, but this is in the near future.
We'll look forward to that. And Pilla, what made you want to invest in NFTs of Jesus, NFT Jesus?
Well, I'm a gamer, so the pixel art I am drawn to just because old school, NES days, but like Zelda, whatnot. Um, Also, Zenobia is like in waifu form essentially, so I had to buy it, but so
And how are you displaying it? Do you display it in your home on a smart screen or?
no, I don't have a way to display it yet. Like, I mean, I can go to Gomint and it's there, and I can look at it, or I can download the asset.
I
So
will
I
I
can.
will be I will be happy to send you a really high resolution file of it if you will be interested in making some prints of stuff in the future. Just let me know. Can make it really high resolution.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. But yeah, I mean, collecting NFTs, it's kind of like a freedom though, like if you take the game market, you can buy a bunch of in-game items and you don't really own them, right? But like with NFTs, you own the rights to it. So I bought Saint, was it Saint Zenobia, or I forget the name of it, but I take that and I can go and sell that on a marketplace whenever that becomes available, um, for Gomint or Hedera, whatever they want to do. But it's also like an investment. Like, a lot of people just hold HBAR, but to me, like, I'm spending my tokens on NFTs because I feel personally that it is a higher store of value for me, um, than actually holding the token. Because if you want to look at like something like a market cap, or how many HBAR tokens are in circulation versus 50 pieces by NFT Jesus, you know what I mean? Like, what's more rare and what's going to be worth more down the road? So I think, to me, it was an easy call to make, but also I just enjoy collecting things. So
Peter, where do you see the NFT investment market going?
I do see there being a market for secondary sales and for a store of value, as Pillow Profit was saying. However, since I am with Go Mint, I don't want to speculate on any pricing or stuff of that nature.
Right.
But I do see a secondary market. I mean, on other platforms as well, such as OpenSea.
Yes.
People buy an NFT and then some people flip it right away, or they hold on to it and flip it. But as Pillow was saying, this is brand new in Hedera, so these are essentially the first NFTs available. So I could see the rarity and the collectible value based on that.
I think the current growth.
Yeah, I agree. I agree totally with this. So wherever how it goes, it's part of doing some kind of history, no matter like where or when it will go. It's part of the genesis.
And what do you see, Peter, the success of the company looking like?
The success of GoMint to me looks like scaling up and expanding, having about 20 more employees. To me, that would be a success for GoMint. We're currently still in the beginning stages right now of everything with GoMint. What we have out now, we are still just calling a proof of concept. So when we do roll out our new features, and we have a lot of stuff planned, I think the community will be very excited to see what we have to offer.
Oh wow! And so you're I know one of Hedera's major points is that they're building which I'm not sure ever happened before, 100-year-old company from the get-go. I think like Henry Ford, when he built his company, didn't think it was going to last 100 years. and for to be starting out with that position is really unique. So you're in it for the long run then at Go Mint Me.
Oh yes, absolutely. I'm going to be involved with GoMint and projects on Hedera for the foreseeable future. I'm very passionate about Hedera. I think it's great technology, great community like I've never seen in any other community before, and the possibilities are truly endless.
I think that's the thing about the community that I was drawn to, is that it's not not to say anything disparaging about Doge or anything, but it's not a pump and dump. It's a real.
Oh no, you can say something disparaging about Doge.
There's a space for every kind of person, the thing that Hedera has is the longevity and the actual utility of the technology, and that's obvious in its platform. And even today, with Google reversing their decision on allowing crypto advertising, when a few months ago the word Ethereum was banned from advertising on Google. I think the crypto space in general is, it's like a toddler. It was a baby and now it's a toddler walking. So we have a long way to go with the success of the whole technology, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Can I make one point about the HBAR community?
Yes.
I have noticed that they are all blind. They all have Stevie Wonder glasses. So
it's a Clark Kent glasses. It comes down with a big H under the suit.
There you go.
It's not laser eyes, is it?
It's hiding the laser eyes.
Oh, I see. Well, there was one. I asked people on if they had a question for you, Peter, and I did get one from what is his name? Possible TS at Crypto Things, and he said he's used Go Mint Me at testnet to mint a card, which was an experiment, and he'd love to be able to use it at mainnet too. Was he doing small tests? He says, I'm doing a small test at AVAX because I don't find it anywhere on Hedera. Do you have any idea what he's talking about with testnet to mint a?
Yeah, the testnet. Yeah, in regards to that, so on GoMint right now, anybody can mint something on testnet, but not on mainnet. So, excuse me. Right now, we're still doing a curated sales right now, and we do have an application form. So I don't believe that the person who gave the question is listening right now. But what I could do is I could definitely shoot him a DM on Twitter, and because we do have an application form that people could fill out so they can mint on mainnet and mint with us.
Oh, okay.
It's just it's just curated at this time because we're still small and we are still starting up, so we don't want everybody just minting everything at the moment. So yeah, but I could definitely send him an application, and anybody else who might be interested in minting, they can DM me or email me. My email address is on gomint.co, and if they want an application, I'll gladly provide it.
That would be awesome. Yeah, and it's important to just do things in a rollout with some thought behind it, and not get inundated with just a bunch of irrelevant stuff. I mean, to qualify the artwork probably is important to you.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, just by looking at the test net, some of the stuff now that people are minting, a lot of it is good quality, but the problem is when you look at some other platforms that have an open marketplace where anybody can mint anything, it seems that people literally do that. They will mint pictures of a gum wrapper or anything else for that matter. So I think curated is the way to go for us right now, just to prevent having a plethora of different things available.
I wanted to add to that. I was in WOCA. It's Women's of Crypto Space meeting. And there's guys that are in there too, but they primarily are focused around like, the female crypto artists. But they were talking about, they were having a session, and I asked that question. I said, what do you see? Because I'm noticing on whether it be Rarible, OpenSea, whatever it is, like just almost like Shutterstock images being sold as NFTs. I'm like, it's just like it's a lot of trash, and they said basically, right now it's not new because NFTs have been around for a long time, like a long time. Like
yeah,
years,
but the big buzz just happened like more half year ago, plus minus.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So they said until really like it kind of matures or people get weeded out, I guess to say, you'll have some more quality items. But yeah, I kind of agree with the curation. I think there needs to be some sort of I don't think you should really filter art, but I mean some of it's just a cash grab and you can sell.
Well, in a traditional sense of art, you could always sell your art anywhere you wanted, but to get into a gallery was a different, proposition. So maybe curating NFTs is more about, similar to getting into an art gallery, having a show there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's see, Pep, do you want to take a couple questions? So people are asking a question. Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah.
Well, Pepe wants to ask a question. Let me invite him. If he accepts, Pepe, you can accept the invitation to ask your question. Well, okay, while he tries to figure that out. Let's see. Sorry, that was an accident. He said, so don't you have anything to ask Peter or Pillow or NFT Jesus?
Am I asking, or they want to ask me a question, or?
Okay. So we'll take audience questions. If you just want to raise your hand, I'll add you as a speaker. And when Peter, when somebody is interested in an NFT, you mentioned PayPal, that they could pay with PayPal.
Yeah. So right now on GoMint, we have the option to pay with PayPal, which is using KPay, which is another use case on Hedera, which was founded by one of my partners at GoMint, Alex Taylor. So yeah, right now, if somebody wanted to purchase an NFT on GoMint and they didn't want to use their HBAR, they can definitely pay with PayPal. And hey, Christian, I see Christian just joined us.
Oh, great. Hi, Christian. Oh, let me add him. Hold on.
But I have a quick question to Peter about this PayPal. Still didn't ask you about it, but if now someone buys in PayPal, how does it get in to the artist? Is it getting same payment or it's getting translated to HBARs?
It's getting the same payment. It's getting translated into HBARs. So like say one of your artworks, NFT Jesus, is 369 HBAR. Somebody will pay PayPal the equivalent to the price, the going rate of what 369 HBAR is.
At the moment when he buys it.
Yeah, the moment when he buys it. So the minute he clicks buy, it locks in that price.
And you getting it already in HBARs, let's say.
And yeah, it translates it. It converts it to HBAR. immediately and sends it over.
And does it have something to do with Hedera working with HBAR, or PayPal working with Hedera, or it's through your service?
No, it's through the KPay service, which is another use case, and it's just a method. It's not officially endorsed or partnered with PayPal. It just uses PayPal, and it interacts with PayPal through HBAR.
It's like a
Yeah,
vehicle.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'd like to welcome Christian. Hi, Christian.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we
Yep.
can. Thank
Hello,
you.
hello.
Great. Glad to be here.
Hey,
So we've just been talking about NFTs and art and how GoMint works out, and we're happy that you could join us. It's very exciting to have you with us, Christian.
Thank you. Yes, excited to be here. Ask me anything. I'm stoked to be on with NFT Jesus. I'm a big admirer of your work. And thank you for your support of Hedera. It's fantastic.
Thank you so much. And I told you this is a secret, but now can say you're one of the next editions. Hope to surprise you one of these days.
I tell you, you've done such a good job with Zenobia's and Paul's and Mance and Lehman's. It's amazing. You really capture the likeness so well in these tiny pixels. The detail is amazing. Good job.
Oh,
You're gonna have to make it
so happy to hear. Thank you.
That's awesome. That's so nice of you, Christian. I think his work is awesome too. And Pillow, in case you don't know, is the owner of one of NFT Jesus's NFTs from Coinbase. I mean, not Coinbase. Sorry, GoMintMe.
Awesome. How have they been selling, Peter? Have they been selling pretty well?
they have the first one released, the Saints of Hashgraph. I haven't checked it today, but last I checked, there's only about less than a quarter of them left. I haven't been on today.
I'm checking this every day, right after how much HBAR is worth. After this, I go to check how many NFT Jesus left. It's 15, and every day is like Christmas. Just because it's getting off and people like it, it's worth more than money for an artist.
You do 100 of each one, right?
Zenobia is now going 50, and yours is planned to be 50. And with time, I see that my art is getting upgraded, like it's getting better and better. So having many plans for the future, like to make it even much smaller quantities, and this we just see with the time.
One of one.
Yeah, definitely.
One of one.
Because
I'm excited for.
Yeah, because this maybe it looks like it's a pixel art, and it looks like really simple. For me, it's one work like this can take a week just for watching videos of the person I'm making and to get his like small characteristics and everything. So it's I see it as same as I paint now something of 2 meters.
That's brilliant. Yeah, I don't know how you do it. I stare at them and I'm like, how do you get that level of detail? I just don't. I don't understand.
A lot of free time. Thank you.
So when you do mine, maybe I'll buy all 50, and then no one can ever have one, and I don't have to feel embarrassed.
You gotta save one for me. I want one of Christian.
Awesome. my
I got. Uh-oh.
What happened?
Yes.
Oh no, my phone went quiet. I thought I got disconnected. Sorry.
Yeah, it's different doing these spaces because you can't see people's mouths, so you don't know when someone else is going to speak.
Yes.
It's not as easy as Skype or Zoom or whatever it is.
Yeah, this is my first time on a Spaces, so this is brand new to
Yeah,
me.
mine too.
Yeah, same. And I see now it's like 40 plus people. So it's nice.
Yes.
So, Christian, while the downtime is going on, I tweeted at you, and I was like, no one talks about this, but Christian is actually a very handsome man. And you didn't respond. I felt like I was like left standing alone at like Olive Garden with the breadsticks, and I was just eating them by myself.
Well, if my video was on, you'd see me blushing. I don't think I can comment on that. You should ask my wife. Probably she might agree, or she might disagree. I'm not sure.
I can't ask my wife for obvious reasons.
I haven't checked in with my wife on that recently. I probably should.
Elisabeth, I don't know if you know, but you're muted.
Sorry. I didn't know that. Thank you, Pillow.
No problem.
Question. Christian, with regard to Hedera and NFT platforms, do you have any insight into why an NFT platform built on Hedera is more solid than like another kind of Ethereum-based option?
So, you do have your standard sort of any application on Hedera inherits the properties of being able to exchange things very quickly and with very fast finality. But around NFTs in general, we are really seeing the energy efficiency of Hedera being a compelling reason why people are choosing Hedera. I'd be interested in, Peter and NFT Jesus's view on that as well. But certainly when it comes to celebrities and charitable organizations that are looking to maybe use NFTs to raise money for charity, the environmental aspects of that are really front and center. There's another platform called The Breakouts, which does an NFT marketplace for different people that want to, produce NFTs and sell them. And the keyboardist from the Beastie Boys, his friends had told him, do not do NFTs. They are killing the environment. You are polluting if you do them. Don't do them at all. And so he was really, shying away from doing it at all, and then found this platform on Hedera and understood that, the energy efficiency, you can't even compare it. I mean, it's so outrageous on some of these platforms, and it's negligible on Hedera. I mean, just tiny. So, in fact, someone in the community, who was it? Oh, Matt Smithies tweeted yesterday that to offset the carbon footprint of 1 million transactions, so that would be either minting 1 million NFT Jesus things or having one NFT Jesus NFT exchanged 1 million times. To offset the carbon footprint of all of those transactions would be 23 cents. And just one transaction on Ethereum would be 14 cents. So you just can't compare these things. It's crazy. So I'd say over and above the regular, speed, governance, fairness properties of Hedera, definitely energy efficiency.
Yeah, I think the timing of the energy efficiency that everyone is adopting, whether it's cars or refrigerators, is really to Hedera's benefit, in that you guys have been doing this for several years, and now the timing, they say timing is everything. The timing of your energy efficiency across the whole ecosystem is really appealing to so many.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd be interested, Peter. Are you seeing that being a compelling point for GoMint?
absolutely. The environmental aspects are a huge selling point for Hedera and for GoMint. And I was just telling somebody in a Telegram chat yesterday, Paul Dixon was his name. So shout out to Paul Dixon. But I was explaining to him that the thing about Hedera is that you can mint low cost items where it doesn't make sense to do that on any other platform because of gas fees and stuff of that nature. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. But with Hedera, you could essentially mint an NFT if you wanted to sell it for 2H bar. It's possible, where you can't do that on any other platform, and I think that's a huge selling point as well.
People love not just the fact that
Yes.
fees are low, but they're very predictable as well. So I would agree on that. And it's really a shame that, some of the promise of blockchain is really, anyone can tokenize any asset and unlock value, however small it is. But because of the fees on some of these other networks, it makes it prohibitively expensive.
Absolutely. I did an experiment last week. It wasn't minting with NFTs or anything, but I did an experiment where I bought, it was something like $150 worth of Ethereum. And I was trying to see, when I cash out of everything, how much I'm left with of everything. And through Ethereum, I was only left with like $57 out of 150.
Oh, wow.
And I thought to myself, I was like, this is nuts. Like, why would anybody choose to do business this way? Because I had to experience it firsthand to see for myself how the fees worked and everything. And it was just, it blew my mind, because I can literally cash out $100 worth of H bar right now, and I'll probably have $99.99, whatever it is.
Right.
But I mean, with Ethereum, I lost a third of more than a third of my money. It was insanity to me.
I can one up you that I actually had to buy more Ethereum to send my only Ethereum. Like, I didn't have enough Ethereum to cash out my Ethereum. It's like, if you want to withdraw, you need to buy more. I'm like, what?
And it's so frustrating for an artist if you sell on Ethereum, because for the buyer, he needs to pay at some points even more for the gas fee just for buying it than the art even worth. So it's
Yeah, people complain about, centralized marketplaces like Uber or Spotify or, Airbnb, these centralized platforms, or, Apple App Store take 30% roughly of revenue. But that's actually a good deal compared with what you were spending, Peter. And
Yeah.
Well, they say the Ethereum 2.0 is going to solve that, but I read that that's not ready until the end of 2020.
I just recently, Vitalik said that it is much more than just a technical hurdle to get 2.0 out, and that, I guess he said that down at Miami just recently. So I think it's probably more likely.
I don't know if you're familiar with something called the Innovator's Dilemma. There's a good book. You should check it out. But a lot of technologies hit this problem where your initial business model actually becomes the impediment to changing your business model in the future. which is why like traditional software companies really had trouble when the cloud came along, because they had these perpetual licenses that they would sell, and the cloud came along with a subscription model. And now you're faced with, do I disrupt myself and tank my revenue? I've got all these shareholders. Or, do I try and keep going on this model and, try and acquire the new thing down the road? So the problem with Ethereum moving to 2.0 is the miners are actually sort of wed to this business model of receiving a lot of fees for running nodes in the network. And that's why you have these variable gas fees, and they get rewarded very well. So they don't want to give that up and move to a proof of stake model where what they're getting from the fees is so much lower. So it's going to be really fascinating to see how that whole transition works. And then with Ethereum 2.0, it's not just like your old smart contracts run on the new thing. So application developers also have to incur switching costs from old Ethereum to Ethereum 2.0. So it'll be fascinating to watch.
Didn't that happen previously where like there was old token and they just like were just old, right? And they had to like transfer them over? I don't know how long ago this was. I could be
it's
wrong.
very hard to upgrade a smart contract. So you kind of have to, if you want to do that, one of the ways to do it is just burn those tokens and then remint them. In which case, why not switch to something like Hedera, which, hopefully we see a lot of.
Yeah. Can't disagree with that.
There's a couple of people that are requesting to ask a question. Would you like to take some questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so
Yes.
Yep.
yes, go ahead.
Okay, I was wondering, what is your opinion about like the quorum that Ethereum is now offering for enterprises? Because they claim that quorum has lower fees and it's much more faster and it's dedicated for private enterprises. Would that be the case for Hedera as well, for offering private ledgers for enterprises, or this is not the vision of Hedera?
That is not the vision of Hedera. Hedera is a public network, and Quorum is fantastic for Hedera, because if you have a group of enterprises that set up a private network and run Quorum, then in the future, how do you gain outside trust and transparency into what is happening in the private network? You have to integrate with a public network. And using Hedera Consensus Service for Hashgraph Consensus is great for private networks. So, the more enterprise private networks there are, probably the better for Hedera. Now, you can, as an organization, license Hashgraph in a private network, but there are a lot of barriers to doing so, and it's really not a focus even of Swirlds anymore. Swirlds is very committed to ensuring that Hedera, the public network, is successful. And actually, what we hear from enterprises all the time is they may do a proof of concept in a private network, but they understand that the way the world is moving is to public networks. And again, that will benefit Hedera, very well.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. And now I'll ask Sarah if she would like to ask a question. Thank you, Amit.
Hello. I was just curious, just in general, about non-art kind of applications for NFTs, and if you see that, not necessarily non-art, but non-media applications for NFTs, and if you see those gaining traction in the future.
Peter, would you like to take that?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't hear too well. I'm having some feedback on my end, but I believe the question was, do we see a medium for non-media NFTs? Is that what the question was?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I see the future in NFTs, to be honest. I think there is a huge market for NFTs in a ton of different mediums, and not just media and the arts. I don't want to get too much into it because we have been having talks with some other projects about some of this stuff, and so I don't want to get into what we're doing as far as GoMint, but I have spoke to somebody who's not involved with GoMint, who is looking to tokenize an NFT, medical records, and stuff of that nature. So I do, as well as there's people who want to tokenize property, real estate, antiques. So I think there's a huge market for NFTs that's not traditional media or media at all, to be honest.
And Christian, how do you see Hedera adapting to those kind of usages?
Yeah, no, definitely. So
thank you, Sarah.
Peter touched on medical records. That's certainly something that already is beginning to develop on Hedera as far as tokenization of medical records and then exchanging that data. There's basically any data that you log and verify and now have trust in that data, you can turn into a token and exchange it. So there's another organization that is looking at tokenizing invoices, for example. So let's say you are company A and you're a very well-known company and you have lots of very small suppliers, and those small suppliers have to get paid within 90 days because their margins aren't very big. So now, because company A, that's a very well-known company, they're doing business with them, they can actually tokenize that invoice, go to a decentralized finance system, say, give me 90% of the money today against this invoice, because you know it's trusted and trustworthy and that company is going to pay. And then when the company A pays out, then the DeFi system takes that 10%. And, this has the potential to really revolutionize the way that invoicing and finance is done. So I would agree with Peter that I don't think, as we sit here today, any of us can really understand how consequential for the global economy this type of tokenization is going to be.
Wow.
And then because Hedera is so fast, so trusted, so cheap, we have a very good shot at, taking a lot of market share in that area.
I think with the volume that you're talking about in terms of, expanding the business model to different industries, the knowing how much it's going to cost, as opposed to gas fees being, fluctuating wildly, is going to be very appealing to businesses.
I did notice that Christian left out world domination in HBAR when he was saying that.
I always leave out HBAR. That's true.
I'm going to ask for another. Let's get another question from Leah. Oh no, from CC33WF. I'm so happy with the questions that everybody's asking. I really wanted to involve the community in asking questions. Connecting.
Slim Slim Gringo also has a question.
I don't see that.
Or maybe he was just waving.
Oh, okay. Well, she's having trouble connecting. So let's go to Callie 100. Go ahead, Callie 100. Turn your microphone on.
Okay.
What's your question?
Yeah, I was wondering, sorry about that. This is the first time I used this on Twitter.
Yeah.
I was wondering, I know there's a Discord for Hedera where developers and other community members can freely discuss different potential topics. But is there another type of community gathering place where I could meet with developers that specifically know how to use Hedera's technology? I'm a UI UX designer and I have a bunch of ideas that I would like to get going, and I have people interested in financing them, but it's been challenging finding developers.
Well, one of the things I'll say is that hellofuture.buzz is going to include forums, and I can talk to you, or you can follow at Hello Future Buzz, and maybe we can get a forum started for you over there.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Sure. Christian, do you have anything to add, or?
Discord is sort of the best starting point for that. I would say that the Telegram community is incredibly helpful as well. And, you know, we are young. There aren't that many developers yet immersed in the Hedera ecosystem. But what I would say is, as a, you know, sort of front-end developer, you could actually get any back-end developer, you know, someone that knows JavaScript, or Go or Java, and the learning curve on Hedera is so low compared with other networks that, you know, digging through documentation and our demo applications, a decent developer within about a week will be highly productive with Hedera.
Well, that's great. So you can also, you know, follow the account Hello Future Buzz, and I'm a web developer myself, so that's a really important issue for me too.
Right. Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you so much. So anyone else have a question? You can pop your hand up and I'll call on you. But we have about six or seven more minutes of our spaces. So
I have a question, but it goes back to the way Hedera works as far as tokenization and association of a token. I know that you guys have implemented something that's totally different from the other chains, where like to kind of prevent airdrops, where I would have to go on my end and associate the address, and then that token would then be available into my wallet. Is there any point in time where you, Christian, know of, or is there a path forward to where I could one day just buy something and then it is associated?
I mean, I hope so. I think.
Hello.
I mean, I think.
1 second, Leah.
I think that ecosystem is emerging a little bit. Now payments is integrated with HBAR, and so I know they make it very easy for websites to accept HBAR payments. You've got things like Go Mint with KPay. Yeah, I mean, we're early days, but I would say, you know, hopefully within, you know, 12, 18 months, that will be, you know, very widespread.
Yeah, and do you mind if I add something to that as well?
Sure, go ahead, Peter.
I think the community needs to realize that there's a lack of wallet developers right now for HBAR and Hedera, and we need some of the existing wallets to support token association and to team up with the marketplaces and with the other use cases who use tokens or NFTs so that these associations can happen easier. Once developers start pushing out more wallets, and there's a few that we know of at GoMint that we have spoke to. There's some in the Telegram chat that I have spoke to. There's a few people working on right now wallets that will automatically associate the tokens that you're buying. However, as Christian said, Hedera is still in the early stages, and a lot of developers and people have to catch up with the technology first.
Yeah, I think it's just becoming Hedera and HBAR is just becoming known. So we are still very early, and let's have a question from Leah. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Hi, guys. It's a great platform. I live in Australia, and we use FPOS all the time. It's not noted in the mainstream media. You don't hear about HBAR. Why is that? Shouldn't they be telling the world how good this stuff is?
So it's early, FPOS has several proofs of concept underway. And what tends to happen with these large enterprises is it takes a long time to go from having an idea internally, selling that internally, building the proof of concept, measuring the results from the proof of concept, and then actually productioning that system. So, when you use FPOS today, you're not yet using Hedera in production. And then FPOS has this other challenge where they're, like Hedera is governed by organizations, they're governed by 19 institutions as well. So a lot of Australian banks, and then places like Woolworths and, other retailers. So they also need to do internal selling of, if they build a system, they want it to be adopted by all the members as well. So no doubt in my mind we'll get there. Like Hedera will be a household name in Australia via FPOS because they got a lot of stuff going on, but it's going to take some time.
Yep. Well, thanks very much, Christian.
Thank you very much for asking, Leah. Okay, so we have a few more minutes. You're welcome. Is there anybody else that would like to answer a question or ask a question? Okay. So if we could just say that this is, a minute, and if you all want to, NFT Jesus, I really want to thank you for being part of the first Hello Future Buzz Spaces, and
thank you so much for thank you so much for having and for inviting me, and thanks everyone for listening and whoever support the art or Hedera. Thank you.
And Pillow?
Yeah, thanks for having me, and I'd like to thank my mother and my father. It was fun. Fun space.
I'm not saying this as a Jesus, but I join your what you say, Pillow.
And thank you so much, Peter. You've given us a whole lot of information, and I can't wait to see all the great things that GoMint is going to do.
Oh yes, thank you so much for having me. This was it truly was fun. It was a blast. This is my first Twitter space I did, and I think it was good. Lovely turnout, nice questions, and thank you, Elisabeth, for having me, and thank you to the other speakers, Pillow, NFT Jesus, and Christian. Awesome to speak with you guys as well.
Well, thank you very much. And Christian, Christian's gone. So, we thank him for all of his information. He was just awesome, and we'll do this again maybe in a week, and we'll have a different topic up for discussion. So I want to thank everybody that came to the first spaces, and we look forward to having everybody again real soon. Yay.
Hallelujah.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds
Thanks.
great.
Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for coming. Bye bye. We're ending the
Bye.
spaces.
Thank you.
Thank you.